Well, this is terrible. It's not the first time that an EV has caused mayhem in a car park, and it certainly won't be the last. But I think this might be the first time that such an event has claimed lives. Reports from Madrid indicate that a Porsche Taycan was involved in a crash in an underground car park and caught fire. The occupants were able to escape, but the subsequent inferno cost the lives of 2 firefighters and put a third in a critical condition. EV battery fires in the open air are bad enough, creating, as they do, blowtorch-like jets of flame, temperatures in the thousands of degrees, multiple projectiles flying everywhere, and impossible to extinguish with normal methods. They are a first responder's nightmare. But in the confined space of an underground car park, they are truly catastrophic. And it has been through sheer luck that no lives have been lost up to this point. But as the number of EVs on the road is forced up by governments obsessed with net zero at all costs, we can be sure of one thing, that this kind of tragic event will become commonplace. Welcome back to MGUY, British engineer and lawyer, now Sydney-based YouTuber. If you want to help this channel educate as many people as possible about the insanity of EVs and net zero, click that subscribe button down below. It doesn't cost anything, and if you click the bell to enable all notifications, you won't miss out on any future videos. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee at the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on screen. Firstly, let me express my deepest condolences to the families of the deceased. It's an absolutely terrible tragedy. But you won't find this reported in the mainstream media, of course, and I have a viewer to thank for sending me the links to the local Spanish media outlets. This kind of story should be making headlines globally, given the seriousness of the outcome and the predictable cause, an EV fire in a confined space. 2 firefighters dead and 14 injured by a fire caused by an electric car in a garage in Alcorcón. A third firefighter, according to eyewitness sources, has been evacuated to the burns unit of the Getafe hospital with a critical prognosis. When I saw the car plugged in the garage, I was afraid that we would go out one day on fire. A woman who locks her vehicle in the garage on Calle Lilos de Alcorcón, Madrid, where the tragedy occurred, tells El Periódico. 2 firefighters have died and 4 other people, 2 of them also firefighters, are injured after an explosion caused by the fire of a Porsche Taycan, an electric car that caught fire inside the community car park where it is usually parked. According to neighbours, the owner of the vehicle suffered a stroke a few months ago, which led him to modify the car's pedals to make driving easier, a change to which he was not accustomed and which was the trigger for the event. Apparently he got the wrong pedal. He was putting his car in the garage and began to manoeuvre to face it. Instead of hitting the brakes, he stepped on the accelerator by mistake and crashed into another neighbour's car that was properly parked, says the owner of a nearby business. The impact caused the Porsche Taycan to start burning. The man, who was travelling with his wife, left on his own and with minor injuries, and when he saw the fire was growing more and more, he called the fire department. The accident took place around 3 in the afternoon. Thick black smoke began to rise from the parking lot. Very close to the scene of the events there is a school, and the teachers themselves chose to veto access to the centre as a precaution. My daughter called me around 3:30 p.m. to tell me that they were letting us in. Firefighters tried to extinguish the flames without success, given the difficulty of putting out an electrical fire. An EV battery fire is what they mean. What they did not expect was a violent deflagration that surprised them during the extinguishing tasks, an explosion that shattered the windows of the surrounding cars, and that it took the lives of 2 of the firefighters. A third firefighter, according to eyewitness sources, was evacuated to the burns unit of the Getafe hospital with a critical prognosis. A 4th firefighter was injured by the collapse of structures in the car park, but he is out of danger. The other 2 injured are the owners of the car, and their prognosis is mild. It's just terrible, and a second report explains just how devastating these fires can be in an enclosed space. A hero's tragedy. The second dead firefighter made it out of the garage, but returned when he learned that his partner was still trapped inside. The parking lot on Lilos Street, one like any other in principle, according to fire department sources, became a death trap, due to the difficulty of extinguishing a fire in an electric vehicle, as reported by experts in the field. When the firefighter managed to get out onto the street from the garage on Calle Lilos de Alcorcón, which had become a real inferno and whose roof had collapsed on top of him, he realised that his colleague was not with him. He was told that the other was still inside, probably. It's too early to determine for sure. Locked between one of the cars that had started the fire, an electric-powered Porsche, and possibly a wall. The man turned and went back into the fire. Firefighters, experts explain, always work in pairs, not only because they are more effective in extinguishing fires, also because one protects the other. A few minutes later, both were dead. The first, according to various sources, burned. The second, due to the inhalation of toxic gases. He went in to try and save his companions and was carried away in flight and in cardiorespiratory arrest. Despite the resuscitation manoeuvres, the assistants could not restore his pulse. It's truly tragic, and my thoughts are with the families of the deceased. One of the fire officers acknowledges the problem that EVs pose. The danger posed by electric car fires in closed places is enormous. It is multiplied with respect to a fire in a combustion car, explained Joaquin Perez, non-commissioned officer of the Toledo Fire Department, who has given training in firefighting of alternative energy vehicles. The first danger is that an electric car burns at a much higher rate than a combustion car, much faster. But in addition, a combustion car only has a large fire peak, and in 5 minutes it can be off. However, an electric car has two. First, the plastics and everything outside, let's say, burn, but then the batteries burn, which are made up of small batteries that are burning one after the other. Well, I'm not sure how many incidents like this it will take before the storing of EVs in underground car parks is banned, as it should be right now. The New South Wales Fire and Rescue Service class EVs as special hazards, and they should be treated as such when considering how they should be stored. Yet this is just another example of how safety concerns are played down when there is a political agenda involved. We've decided we need to transition to EVs, and so nothing, including health and safety concerns, is going to get in our way. What will it take for our governments to realise that pushing an agenda does not magically erase the safety regulations that, as the saying goes, were written in blood? How much more blood shed on the altar of EVs will be required before the safety regulations catch up? This event, if it ever gets the publicity it deserves, should be that wake-up call.